Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I have been thinking about making this video for quite some time now. I'm sorry for my appearance. If you are new to my channel, you know that I'm a nanny during the day and I don't usually put makeup on for work. Actually, never put makeup on for work, not usually. So if you see a video with me wearing makeup, know that that's filmed on the weekends because I never wear makeup during the day and I'm filming this video during the day. So I've thought a while about making this video. I'm sure you already know by the title, I'm gonna be explaining our infertility story and our journey that led us to IVF. I'm gonna try really hard to keep my thoughts collected and not let this video run for 35 minutes and try not to cry. So let's just get into it. So Rob and I have been dating, well, we're married now. We met in 2012, December of 2012, so the end of 2012. And so Rob is older than I am. He is 8 years older than I am. So I'm 30, I'll be 32 in August and he just turned 40. And our relationship, I'm just doing a real summary of that part. We fell hard for each other. I moved in 3 months later and it was just history. So let's fast forward 2 years. And since he's older than I am, he's always expressed to me that he wants children soon. So I was 26 when I met him and he was 34. And was that right? Was I 25? No, I must have just turned 26 and he was turning 34 in a few months. I don't know, guys. Either way, I've always wanted to be a mom. That's all I ever wanted. And I knew as soon as I met somebody, I wanted to have babies. Not as soon as I met anybody. As soon as I met the right person, the one, you know what I mean? I wanted to have babies. And I never was one that needed to be married right away and needed a ring, needed all of these things. I was very happy in our relationship. And through those 2 years, I watched my nephew grow up. He has tons of nieces and nephews. They were growing up and we were just we want kids. Why wait? Let's start trying. We started trying. My sister got married in 2015 in September and we decided I was gonna go off the pill in that summer and get right into it. So we started in September of 2014? I think it was 2014 we started. Yes, because we did our first, we started in September of 2014. I'm sorry if this is all over the place. I'm really bad. I should have notes written down. I don't. I'll edit out the ums and the thinkings, don't worry. So we decided in the summer of 2014, I was gonna get off the pill, and in September after my sister's wedding, because I didn't want to be pregnant for my sister's wedding, little do I know, would have never happened. We would start in September. So we started. I was very eager to get pregnant. So you name it, I've tried it. I got the OPKs. I was crazy buying the expensive ones at CVS and Target. I was buying pregnancy tests like they were going out of business. I spent so much money in the first 6 months of trying that I don't even want to, I wish I wrote it all down so that I would know how much that it was. Pre-seed, I tried pre-seed. What else? Oh, I took evening primrose oil that first year, actually, not just the 6 months. It was month after month of not getting a test. I would get so upset. Around probably 7 or 8 months of trying, I was you know what? I'm not gonna do anything anymore. If it happens, it happens. Let's backtrack. I always had a feeling I wouldn't get pregnant right away because being a mom is the only thing I really want. It's the only thing I wanted in life, is to be a mom. When I was little, I would sit on the couch and pretend to give birth to babies. Watching the baby story on TV was my favorite thing to do on a day off from school, sick day, snow day. My hair is still disgusting. You name it, watching a baby story was my favorite thing to do. 9 Months was my favorite movie as a kid. I was obsessed with being a mom and having babies. So I had a feeling in my gut that it was not gonna happen easily. So we started September 2014. We went to the doctor. Our first doctor's appointment was, I think, November of 2015. November of 2015. We went to the doctor. We did all the tests. Rob had a sperm analysis. I had an HSG. I had the blood work, I had the ultrasounds. What else do you do? HSG. That's when they stick the ink in your uterus and it goes to the fallopian tubes to see if there's any blockages, no blockages. What else? I feel like there's another test that you do. Remember, is that bad? So then we did all our testing and we went back to the doctor and he was like, you know, like there's really nothing wrong. At that point, Rob and I had different insurances. If we would have, so at that point I had Obamacare or whatever it's called. Now I have no idea. I would have been, it's crazy. Like I would have been covered for 4 retrievals. Like 4 retrievals was covered and I was like so mad that we were entering a new year and everything was changing. So we set up to do an IUI. I took Clomid, took that for 5 days and then Rob did this thing in a cup, brought the sample to the office and then they did the IUI. So I think the problem with the IUI was, well, if you know anything about an IUI, they're not very successful. I think it's like a 20% chance. It's like you have the same percent chance of getting pregnant naturally as you do having an IUI. The problem with our IUI was, so when I took the OPK, so our doctor had us temping, had me taking Clomid and taking the OPKs, when to call to go in. Because what an IUI is, it's literally just like tracking ovulation, putting the sperm in at the right time. That's all it is. And maybe giving you something to ovulate a little bit extra. So I took the OPK. You're supposed to take it, I think in like the morning, the like the mid-morning time, every day, same time. I was a cycle person and I always tested morning and night. So I think it was like one day I tested in the morning, it was negative, but I tested at night and it was positive. So I called the doctor the next day and was like, I got the positive OPK. Okay, come in the next day because usually you ovulate the day after or something like that. I think I think I was wrong. I think like I missed the timing because I knew my body at that point. I'm very intuitive as a person as it is. So I knew what ovulation felt like. So I feel like it had happened too soon. But anyway, it didn't work. Long story short, it didn't work. We had to pay for Rob's semen analysis, which was like $900 because his insurance didn't cover that. Don't forget, we weren't married at the time. I don't want to hear anybody saying you should be married, blah, blah, blah. It's one of the reasons why I started a channel basically for trying to conceive back then, but I was sick of people telling, like, I couldn't deal with like people saying like, maybe you should be married first. Maybe you should mind your own business first, just saying. He had different insurance than I did. His insurance didn't cover it. Fast forward to January, our insurance has changed anyway because he's a business owner. His insurance he bought by himself and mine I got through the marketplace. Either way, after that, insurances sucked. And we just thought we would just keep trying, see what happened. So we're in we got to 2016. We just decided to let life happen. Whatever's meant to be will be. Obviously, nothing's really wrong with us. Let's just keep trying. So I did not do anything to obsess about ovulation, having sex at the right time. I hate how people call it in the trying to conceive world baby dancing. No, it's called sex. Just call it sex, okay? So we just tried. So 2016, what happened? 2016. Was that the year we went to Disney? I think 2016 just had a lot of things going on that I just was like, you know what? Let's just enjoy life and just keep trying. So in 2016, we went to Disney World. In 2016, in March, we went to Disney World. In the summer, I went to my friend's wedding in Punta Cana and I was just like, let's just enjoy life. And then what happened? So 2017 comes around and we got engaged, yay! And I was like, you know what, let's go back to the doctor. I got us both with the same insurance. Like he had the same insurance, I had the same insurance, thinking like it was the same as it used to be. It covered nothing. It didn't cover. So we went to the doctor. He didn't make me do tests again. He made Rob do tests again. Everything was fine. And so he suggested doing like super ovulation, doing the injectables, and then doing an IUI. So like I would trigger the same kind of stuff you do for an IVF minus the making the embryo. Just doing some medications to make you ovulate more and then inserting the sperm at the right time. So I was so excited to do this. I didn't care if we got pregnant before we got married. I just wanted to have a baby. You know, we've been trying for so long. If anybody has been trying longer than like 6 months, Nadia, I'm sorry. I don't feel sympathy if you've only been trying for 6 months. Please don't take offense to that, but it's just after trying for 4 years, it'll be 4 years in September. So 3.5, basically let's call it 4 years. We're in May. I don't feel bad for you. Like, try going on year after year. If you've done anything over 2 years, you have my sympathy. Over 1 year, you have my sympathy. Please don't take that the wrong way. It's just, I stopped even taking pregnancy tests because I was just like, I can't imagine seeing one more negative pregnancy test. Like, it's just heartbreaking. It's just a waste of money at this point. I'll just wait for my period to come. I think I tested like one time because I bought like the cheapies on Amazon, and usually when you buy the cheapies on Amazon, the ovulation test, they come with like 10 pregnancy tests. So maybe once in a while I would test on those, but I would not spend money on like a first response test ever. I have one left that I will use probably after, when it's the normal amount of time to test after a transfer. I don't know why I'm getting emotional. This is like the most emotional roller coaster ride any woman and husband or man or partner can go on. I don't know how Rob deals with me half the time. I don't know. So like, that could be a whole other video, like our emotions. Rob would never get on camera and talk about it, just so don't even ask. I'm sorry. My train of thought is all over the place. So we were going to try the super ovulation, he called it, basically injecting you with meds to make you ovulate. You take a trigger, you do the IUI, just like that. But turns out our insurance didn't cover any of that, and we were about to be paying for a wedding. So we were just like, you know what? Let's get married and then we'll figure this out. Because we knew no matter what happened, we would have to pay out of pocket for IVF. And I was not about to spend any money ever again on like a 20% chance of getting pregnant or less. Don't quote me on any of these statistics. I'm not a professional. I've only done Googling research or research from the different trying to conceive IVF support groups on Facebook. None of this, I've done my fair share of Googling, but I'm not an expert at all. And so we just decided to just keep doing it around ovulation. Whatever's meant to be will be. Obviously nothing happened. So as soon as we got married, we went right to the doctor. Even though we were going to Mexico for our honeymoon, I think like the Zika virus it's still like under warning, but like I think last year one person got it. So I was not even telling the doctor that we were going to a place where Zika might be happening because they wouldn't see you for 6 months. And I've done my research and it was like hardly anybody was getting Zika anymore. And clearly we were fine. So we went to the doctor like 2 days before our honeymoon to talk about the plan. And so when I got our insurance, so we were getting married, so we were able to get on the same insurance this year. Of course, I always knew that we were gonna have to pay for it, but I was hoping that I would speak to somebody, the healthcare marketplace, they'd be able to find me a plan. I don't care if I had to pay I didn't care if we had to pay $1,000 a month to find a plan that covered IVF, but none of the plans, not one that you could buy on your own, covers IVF. But the one we did find covered artificial insemination, which is an IUI. So I thought we would go in there, since everything was going to be covered, at least try an IUI. But the doctor was like, this is the first time this was ever mentioned. My mom has been telling us, she's like, you know what, Jeana, I have a feeling that you having a ruptured appendix at 4 is the problem. Like, she didn't mention anything like this before, like while we were trying. But like once I told her we were going to the doctors, she was like, I really think like because it ruptured, you probably have scar tissue and it's probably going to be the issue. And the problem with scar tissue is you can't really see it. You couldn't see it through the HSG test. You couldn't see it through any of the ultrasounds. You just can't see it unless you do a laparoscopy. And our insurance, of course, doesn't cover a laparoscopy. So we went to the doctor, and the first thing, Rob's like, dude, like, could her appendix be an issue? Could that be the reason this is happening? Because there's no other explanation as to like why we're just not making a baby. And he was like, yeah, it could be a problem. I'm like, what? Like, why has nobody ever, I've mentioned before that I've had my appendix rupture. I've mentioned before that I had my appendix removed. Like, I've mentioned all of these things and nobody seemed to think that it was an issue. And he's like, stand up, show me your scar. My scar's like this big. And I was 4 at the time. And this was like 1991, I guess, when it happened. And he was like, whoa, your scar is huge. Did this happen? Did you have a drain? Did this happen? I'm like, hold on, I need to ask my mom. And I was like, yes, yes, yes. He's like, I wouldn't even go in there to do a laparoscopy because your scar tissue is probably so bad that I would just, he's probably like, it's wrapped around, it's probably like near your rectum, like all of these things. He's like, let's just jump right to IVF. He's like, let's stop wasting your time. Because he knew I'm turning 32. I mean, I'm not old in the sense of getting pregnant, but it's getting up there. Like, I feel like every year after this, like my eggs go down and down and down. And Rob's 40. He was just like, you know what, let's not do this anymore. If you're gonna have to pay for it, just pay for IVF. So of course, and actually rewind. Of course, I'm having a meltdown. I knew this whole time we'd have to pay for it. I'm crying in the doctor's office. Rob's like, what are you crying about? You knew this was gonna happen. I'm like, I don't know, it's just so real now. And so we made the appointment for after we'd get back from our honeymoon to do the test. Rob had to do another sperm analysis. I had to do some more testing, and we just went on our honeymoon. I'm so happy that I was able to relax. I thought I would obsess over it. We got back and we were like, listen, let's wait a few months until we have because Rob's not working in the winter ever because he's a landscaping business. He's like, let's take a few months to relax, figure out what we're gonna do about money, and then we'll go back to the doctor in March when I get back into working. I was like, perfect, no big deal. I figured we waited this long was a couple more months. And so this time his sperm analysis came back super low. I don't know if it's because he's back to work. The last few times we've done a sperm analysis, it was when he wasn't working. And this time it was while he was working. And the doctor, it was like 900,000. It was like $1 million and under. So everything, it's good sperm, just not a lot of it. So I wish we did more sperm tests because I'd like to compare the winter to when he's working. But obviously when he's working, it was very low. So that could also be an issue, but we would never know because we didn't really test his sperm a lot because it would have costed, none of his insurances ever covered a sperm analysis. So we decided to start IVF. That's where we are right now. I am going on Friday to give them the payment, and I think we are starting stims and get this show on the road. If you guys have any other questions related to IVF, if you are going through this and you just need somebody to talk to, my Instagram is down below. The best place to reach me is an Instagram, DM. I don't have anybody that is going through this. So it's a very lonely thing. It's just, you don't have anybody else that knows what you're going through, except your significant other. And you know how men are. Rob is always like, yeah, it's all right. I know it'll happen eventually. And that always drove me nuts. I was always like, does this bother you? Any thoughts? I wish it would have happened, but it'll happen eventually, even if we have to pay for it. And I'd be like, oh my God, just cry, please. Please be that sad. So it's always me crying, him hugging me, and we move on. So that's where we are now. I don't know when anything else is happening yet because my doctor has us set up for a frozen transfer. I don't know the protocol on a frozen transfer is. I'm hoping to find out more details on Friday. And yeah, this is all over the place. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I will be updating you more on our journey. I don't know, it's definitely not going to be live in the moment because every other doctor's appointment, from the second we signed up for IVF, I started filming little clips, and you'll see that hopefully at the end of, I don't know how I'll do it. I don't know if I'll just upload everything up to the point of egg retrieval. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. So, but I will have some sort of video for you guys. I just can't do it in the moment because if something goes wrong, I'm going to be very emotional. I can't be like that. I don't know how people do it with their raw emotions. I don't know how people everyday vlog. I don't know. It's so hard. This is hard enough as it is, and I would hate to have the pressure to have to update you guys, you know what I mean? So please pray for us. please keep us in your thoughts that everything goes smoothly and that we will have a baby soon. Like, I can't even believe that it's finally getting real. I have nothing but positive thoughts. Like, I just, in my heart, I knew that, in my heart now, I know that like, this is it. Like, it's happening finally. So many times I've wondered, like, why is this happening? If you guys have not, in my last video, I mentioned going to listen to the podcast, The Infertility Mafia, and they mentioned something in one of the episodes that it's not, what it was about, like going through something. It like makes you a better, I don't know what it was. I forget the word she used, but it's like, not, like, why is this happening to you? And it's like, why is this happening? Like, why? I see so many other people that are not fit to be parents that just can't, like, Teen Mom 2 is like my biggest guilty pleasure. Any of the teen moms actually. But it drives me nuts that those girls are like on their third baby daddy and just like popping out kids, no problem. And it's like us over here dying for one, and we have like a good family unit, like, and we'll be there and love this baby so much, and we can't do it. We just can't get there by ourselves. And I just, once we have this baby, I just feel like I'm gonna start crying. I know that I can. I've been doing it for the last 4 years, so I don't even know where I was going with this. I wasn't expecting to get so emotional. This was our journey. This is just the path that we were supposed to be on to have a baby, and it can't be easy for everybody. And I just feel like we were a couple that can handle it. And thank God that I have Rob, that has always been so positive and so like, this will happen. Because if he thought like I thought, like thinking that like one day we're never gonna be parents, I would never have gotten through this. Like, oh my God. I'm sorry for crying, guys. Oh my God, this video is all over the place. Hardest thing to date that I've ever had to go through, and I've gone through a lot. Like, you guys have no idea. Like, half of the things I've gone through in life. But this will be worth it. I'm going to stop the video now before I keep crying and put a damper on all of your days. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If there's anything that I didn't cover and you have any questions, leave them down below. I'll be happy to answer them. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.